Hello and welcome to Theme Park Information. In today's show we'll be doing a review for Portaventura, which is located in Toulouse, Spain. Let's start off with the king of coasters, and that is the 250 foot Shambhala, where it's 81-degree drop, incredibly cool unique elements like the figure of 8 turnaround and the water splashdown, both of which make this ride stand out. It is smooth, they dispatch the trains quickly, and it runs over Dragon Khan. Talking of Dragon Khan, it is a really solid B&M roller coaster with 18 versions, a decent drop. The only downside is they ran one train on it, which meant the throughput wasn't as good as it could have been. What they should have done is what they did on Furious Baco, which is ran 2 trains but only filled the front 3 seats of it, which meant the turnaround was really quick. And Furious Baco, for instance, so quick turnaround with the 2 trains, a little bit rough on the shoulders, but the launch and small drop are really good. Also the bit where you fly over the lake is really cool. Now, one slight criticism I have of Portaventura is the lack of thrill rides or flat rides. They have a pirate ship, which is decent, good fun. They also have an incredibly cool Intamin drop tower of Hurricane Condor, which is also spectacularly good. You have sitting down or standing up options on that, and it will take your breath away. Thankfully, in the water ride department, they have plenty to choose from. They have a really good rapid ride, which is enclosed in a canyon and will get you pretty wet. They have a really good log flume, which will also get you pretty soaked with its 3 drops, good length, and the way it interacts with the small coaster Diablo. They also have Tatuki Splash, which is pretty much the tidal wave at Fort Park soaker ride. The first drop isn't anything special, but the second drop is really cool, the way it kind of circles around a volcano and drops you down. You can get really soaked on that. They also have a Battle Galleons. Now, the one at Portaventura is nowhere near as good as the one at Alton Towers, as you have to pay to use the water cannons on the outside of the ride, where they should be free. That way you'd have far more interaction between people watching the ride and people on it. When we talk about Portaventura, it's very difficult not to talk about the hotels. They have quite a lot of hotels. I stayed at the Portaventura Hotel when I was there. It is an incredibly nice hotel with incredibly easy access to the park. The park tickets are included in the price, which is obviously nice and simple. I'd highly recommend staying there myself. It's not the only hotel they have, but it's one which is probably closer to the park than any of the others. Sadly, the water park wasn't open when we went, and Ferrari World was just being built. Both reasons to go back in a couple of years' time when they are. Let's move on to some important travel information. I'd highly recommend landing at Royce Airport. That is only a short 20-minute taxi ride to the hotels. That taxi should cost about €30. Do realise that is subject to change, but still not too bad a price. Salou the town is about a 20-minute walk from the hotels. It's a really nice picturesque seaside town with plenty of bars and restaurants and drinks. Not going to go into it too much because it's more of a Portaventura review. Talking back of Portaventura, let's go on to the food. Overall, the food options are slightly lacking. They could do far more stuff vegetarian. If I remember rightly, a third of their visitors are from overseas, so you kind of expect them to have far more in the way of different cuisines from different cultures. Something they possibly could work on. Overall, though, the food isn't overly expensive. They have incredibly cool yogurt places, for example, and ice cream places there, both well worth checking out. Both are near the main entrance. They have generally got quite a lot of really good drink stores. The drinks aren't hugely expensive, they're kind of reasonable. The park as a whole was really well maintained, it was clean. There was an incredibly cool kids area, not that I spent too much time in it. They also have other rides such as the wooden roller coasters of Stampeder and Tomahawk. Stampeder itself is really rough. It's not a major ride, but it is a little bit rough. It's kind of 2 trains racing against each other, quite cool. Tomahawk is a kind of junior version of that, also quite cool. They have a lot of kind of small flat rides in the park, which kind of probably need to be updated. They're a little bit boring and I've seen better days. The overall layout of the park is quite cool, especially if you're going towards the China area where Shambhala and Dragon Khan are. That is very cool, the path you take around there. They do have a train system for making it easier to get around. It is a park which is definitely going places in a couple of years. They'll have hopefully opened Fryland, which will increase the site massively. They'll have another huge major roller coaster, albeit they already have a launch coaster, so there were strange that they're building another one, and they already have a drop tower, and yet they're building another set of drop towers. Okay, yeah, you can build what you like. They are building go-karts, I believe, which would be epically cool. Can't wait for that. All in all, I'd say Portaventura is an excellent theme park. Shambhala makes it a world-class theme park, quite possibly the best in Europe. When Ferrari Land opens, it will probably confirm that fact. It's well worth going there. I'd highly recommend staying at the Portaventura Hotel. I would highly recommend booking it in advance. And I'd also highly recommend realising that it is quite easy to get from to Barcelona from Salou as well. And I'd highly recommend having a little day trip there. Overall, my feelings on the park are incredibly positive, and I'd highly recommend you go there. Hopefully you enjoy the video. Like, comment and subscribe to Theme Park Information. Catch you later. Oh, and a huge apology for there not being many pictures. I originally did the videos and such for a little holiday kind of snapshot, and then I've only decided to do a review of it now. It's like always the professional. Right, catch you later guys. Cheers.